Is this Varathane One Step Stain and Poly product any good? Now, I've done videos before on the one-step products. For instance, here's Minwax Poly Shades from a can. You brush this stuff on. I did a review on this and I thought it was garbage. And I did get a lot of criticism. People tell me, oh, you didn't do it right. You should have done this or that. Well, I guess people just don't like it when you tell them that their baby is ugly. But I have found that the spray version of this product is a little better. But I'm open-minded. I've never reviewed this particular brand of one-step convenience product. All right, look, obviously I have a preconceived lack of love for these, but as I said, I'm willing to give them an honest and open look. But before I do, I need to show you something. Okay, this is pretty hilarious. I came outside to test these two different colors of Varathane on this sample of wood. I didn't get very far before both nozzles clogged up. This is the red mahogany. I barely got anything laid down before I can't even get anything out of the can anymore. Second color was Cabernet. I was able to get some of the color. When I first started spraying, it was just spitting out just a little tiny bit, and then it stopped completely. So I gotta go back to the store before I can even test the product. I've got the new spray can, and this tabletop is the patient. But before I begin, I want to assure you that I've read all the instructions carefully and I will follow them. But I'm going to point out one of the steps on the back says this: preparation. Remove any existing finishes with sandpaper or stripper. Then on the front of the can, it says can be used over polyurethane finishes. On this table, I'm going to lightly sand the whole thing using 220 grit sandpaper to remove most of the finish. Now, I need to be careful because this is veneer, and if I sand it too deep, I'm going to get to the dissimilar wood under the veneer. Well, after reading the back of the can, it says that surfaces now should be enriched with a deep, rich, beautiful color protected by a long-lasting finish. That's not exactly the way I'd put it after giving this one coat. It's not deep, it's not rich, and it's really not protected. Now, I'm going to be giving this at least one more coat, but let me tell you what I see so far. You need to spray this on very lightly, or it's going to pool up and look blotchy. I wasn't even being very heavy-handed, and it still looks a little bit blotchy. In order to get a fairly even coat, I had to use very little spray, which then gave me poor coverage. Let's say that you build a project. You work hard. You spend all that time and effort making something nice. Then you sand it in preparation for that one thing that's going to put your project over the top, a beautiful finish. Why would you take a shortcut and use this? So I've just given this side of the table a second coat using the Varathane One Step. On this side of the table, what I decided to do was strip it all back down, put on a matching stain, and then a polyurethane. Separate steps, but I want you to see the difference then between the two. Let's recap. I started by stripping down the table completely to the bare wood. Then I applied the Varathane One Step to the whole table. This is red mahogany, which, by the way, it doesn't even look red. I didn't like the way that it turned out, so I stripped down this half of the table, and then I applied Minwax Red Sedona, which is what the customer wanted. There's no polyurethane on this yet, but let me show you the difference so far between the two. This is the Varathane One Step. Uneven, and when it dries, it lost the little shine it did have. This semi-gloss is semi-dull. As I move to the side with just the wood stain, look at how the grain pops. I would be embarrassed if I gave anything to a customer that looked like this. It's awful, and it really looks worse in person. Let me get specific. The finish is dull, the color is blotchy, and the wood grain is obscured. If you're refinishing a table for somebody you don't like, then use this. But if you want it to turn out nice, do it the right way. Stain, then polyurethane. Give it 3 coats and sand lightly in between. Now I'm going to strip off all of this garbage and I'm going to show you what a beautiful table should look like. Now do you want to talk about a deep, rich, protective, and smooth finish? This is it. Separate stain and polyurethane. I really wish these companies would stop trying to reinvent the wheel. I'm all for innovation, but this is not it. So is it good or garbage? Let's just say that if I found a case of this stuff in the alley, I'd leave it there. Oh, if you want to watch a really cool video, check this one out. Wait, this one's even better. While you're watching those, I've got some picking to do.